Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley, and it is time for News in Motion. Today begins Women's History Month. How about that? So, we've gone from Black History Month now to Women's History Month, and I am so excited about this kickoff and everything we're going to be sharing with you over the next 31 days. So, if you're in the room, y'all, I'm just asking y'all to come on in the room. I see you, Camille Pleasant, coming in from our YouTube channel. And I know others of you are starting to pop in. Just go ahead and let us know that you're in here. Good morning, Katrina and Yvonne and Dr. Ann, to Annette. Good morning to all of you. I see you, Stephanie Burbridge Hall. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. How are you? I see my brother, Louis Pryor. Good morning to you. Just come on in the room. Hey, Tracy Nooney. Good morning. What's up, Lori Wallace? Good morning to you. Good morning, Fred Jones. What's up, brother? Good morning to you. I'm just really excited about today. Actually, I didn't sleep much last night. Good morning, Adrienne. Good morning to you. Listen, today kicks off Women's History Month. Good morning, Kenny Stanley. Good morning, Deborah Sneed. So, all women, if you are tuning in live, excuse me, if you are tuning in live and you have a business or a brand, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I see you, Marion Jackson. Just put it in the chat. All women. If you have a business or a brand, and every last one of us should have a brand, put it in the chat. Good morning, John Gore. No, I never sleep much. That's probably why I gained so much weight. I'm starting to see my sleep habits and weight. Yeah, I got to work on that. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. Good morning, Kimberly Graves. So again, all women. Today kicks off Women's History Month. So if you have a business or brand, go ahead and put that in the chat. Go ahead and put that in the chat. I see you, Regina. I see you, Cherie. I see you, Pastor Alex. Come on in the room, y'all. Come on in the room this morning, the romper room. No, this is really the News in Motion room. So to kick off Women's History Month, to all women, thank you, Deborah. She says, DJ the Dream Coach. I love it. DJ the Dream Coach. If women, if you have a brand or a business, and all of us should have a brand, you're your own brand. Put it in the chat so we can celebrate you today. I see you, Katrina. She has Carol's Kitchen and Catering. So that's happening. So come on in, y'all. Come on in. I don't know where Latrice Jones is. Where is she this morning? Because she has paparazzi. Adrian, where are you? You have paparazzi. Kimberly Graves, where are you, Miss Author, Speaker, business career person, and paparazzi? Lori, set the atmosphere, interior design and decor, tapestry, performing arts company, Evolve Production Incorporated. That's what I'm talking about. Kim Edmondson, there she is. There she is. Ron Robinson, good morning to you. Cherie, check out Power 52 Foundation. They are changing lives, diversity, equity, inclusion. Diane Ladybug says, thank you, Gail Dudley, Miss Ladybug's Unlimited Creativity, and author of The Morning Message. And if you do not have a copy of The Morning Message, I'm encouraging you right now to get that copy. If Diane put your information in there on how they can get that. Hester coming in from North Carolina. She has NC Real Estate, broker and investor. Kimberly Graves has KG Organizing Your Life. She offers remote services and free consultation, a budget fashionista, paparazzi accessory. I'm loving all of this. Adrian says, hey there, feeding this teenager. Let the teenager feed themselves. Adrian, Shimmer and Shine Boutique with paparazzi jewelry and accessory. Good morning, Rosanna. Good morning, Doctor. Good morning, Patricia Lyles. Good morning, Dana Mosley. Throughout the month, I'll keep calling out different women's products. So listen, these videos never go anywhere. They never go anywhere. So make sure you tune in, put it up there when we call on it, and we will pump you up, put you out there. All right, y'all. This is Tuesday, March the 1st. It's the first day of Women's History Month 2022, and it's time for the headlines, y'all, on News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Yes, that's who I am. That's what I do, and I'm loving every minute of it. Whether you're watching live or the replay. We are just so glad that you're here, and glad that you decided to let me have a portion of your day, just a little bit of the time. All right, y'all, let's get this news started.
News in motion.
Isaiah doesn't know this, but one day I'm going to have him on the screen jamming the way that he is jamming. Y'all, John Gore said, Happy Women's Month. Thank you for being the helpmate to us to move forward. Enjoy your month in full acknowledgement of your value and worth. Take nothing but forward steps. I love that. And then we have Deborah Sneed, Deborah's Bling and Paparazzi Jewelry and Accessories. So there's that. Now, I'm going to just be a little bit. I see you, Latrice. There you go, girl. Y'all know she has Luxurious Life. Is it Luxurious Life? Put it in there, Latrice. I might be saying that wrong. Paparazzi as well. So y'all, I gotta do this only because I can't get enough of this. It's like I ordered this. I ordered my own stuff like back in January, and it just came yesterday. But we found out that we had because I called them like, there's no reason I'm just getting this 2 months later. And we found out that we had our alerts and automatives and all that stuff set wrong. So it was taking a long time for us to approve all of these orders. And I said, I don't want to do that. And they said, oh, just change your settings. I said, is that easy? So anybody who's still waiting on your merch from News in Motion, it's on the way, because I got this yesterday, and y'all, and this is the bomb.com. This is the water bottle. And I was like, oh, that looks good. So this is the bomb.com. You can get it from the merch. Isaiah, put up the merch image, please. You can get it. I'm going to our merch store to get all the merch you need, whether it's sweatshirts or t-shirts. We have a down short sleeve V-neck t-shirt up there, the bag, the shirt, the hat, all of it. It's there, y'all. So check it out. Check it out. Katrina says she has her cup. She has her cup. So y'all, it's there. All right, y'all, let's get to the news, because we got something exciting to share with you again. And again, if you just wonder, let me show it to y'all right. Y'all, this is the bomb. I wish it would go all the way around, but there's not enough room for it to go all the way around. So we just gonna have to take it as it is. And yes, I have water in here. Anyway, y'all, Daily Brief, Council on Foreign Affairs. High-level delegations from Russia and Ukraine began talks yesterday at the Ukraine border with Belarus. Didn't go too well. Germany Chancellor Olaf Scholz announced that Germany will channel $1 billion, that's what it be, to armed forces this year. And then we have global anti-war protests circulating. That's happening in Japan, y'all. Automaker Toyota is suspending operations at all of its plants in Japan until at least Wednesday, after a major supplier was hit by a suspected cyber attack. So that's happening. Kim says she has her shirt and her mug. That's what I'm talking about. And by the way, y'all, I want to give a shout out. I didn't see this till way after this show yesterday. A shout out to Al Edmondson. He had his birthday on yesterday. So shout out to Al Edmondson. Y'all, he is a true friend to News in Motion. So we want to make sure we give him a shout out. We a day late, but you know, I believe in partying all month long. I guess that was the 28th. So all week long when it comes to your birthday. So happy birthday, Al Edmondson. Y'all, government spokesperson said Afghans need an excuse to leave the country. Yeah, y'all. Separately, a house-to-house security sweep continues in Kabul. The Taliban said the operation is looking for kidnappers, thieves, and looters. That's happening. Y'all, and Nigerians are being denied entry still today to Poland after the Nigerian foreign minister raised the issue with Poland's ambassador to Nigeria. So y'all, that's still happening. Y'all, in Ukraine, a first round of peace talks began, but they failed. They began to attack Kharkiv yesterday. That's the second largest city. Yeah, the Russian military is continuing to advance on Kyiv in what U.S. defense officials call an attempt to encircle the Ukrainian capital. They think that the Kremlin will adopt the same siege tactics used to Kharkiv. So that is happening. Y'all, CNN is reporting that 13 Ukrainian soldiers who were thought to be killed are alive, and that's what the Navy is sharing. And believe it or not, y'all, Ukraine tweeted a cryptocurrency. Isaiah, I think you have the tweet. Can you pull that up? Y'all, Ukraine tweeted a cryptocurrency wallet and got 4 million in donations yesterday. They were like, we getting ready to go ahead and do what we need to do. So thank you, Isaiah. So that happened yesterday also. Y'all hear me. President Zelensky of Ukraine is being hailed as a global hero. He ain't playing. I'm like, there's something about him. He's not playing. He's going forward. Y'all, and then there's a lot of cancellation of sports. The Judo Federation is stripping Russian President Putin from his role as honorary president and ambassador. Y'all, the boycotts are now happening in the entertainment industry. Disney, Warner Brothers, Sony said yesterday they're pausing all upcoming film releases in the country. Y'all, the Eurovision Song Contest, the annual European songwriting competition, has now banned Russia. The New York Metropolitan Opera has banned Russia. It's like this is trickling down. It's starting to really squeeze them out. And y'all, good news. CNN Business reports that Airbnb has opened its doors to at least 100,000 displaced Ukrainians, and they're asking hosts to let those individual people in until they find them permanent housing. All right, y'all, we have not shown this in a long time. But just like what they thought, the numbers are starting to rise just a little bit. So they want to encourage people to utilize their home kits. A lot of mandates are being overturned, they're being taken away. People are just like willy-nilly, but they're saying now people are starting to get a little sick. So Isaiah, if you would play the self-test video, we need to share this from CDC.
Hi, my name is Keisha. If you have COVID-19 symptoms or think you've been exposed to someone with COVID-19, you should get a COVID-19 test. This applies even if you are vaccinated. Using a self-test or home or at-home test can be a quick way to get results. You can use the self-test anywhere to find out if you have COVID-19. You can buy self-tests at a pharmacy or other retail store, and some self-tests are available without a prescription. Here are some tips on COVID-19 self-tests. Follow instructions for storing the test until you are ready to use. When you are ready to use the test, check the expiration date and kit components. Don't use expired tests or components that are damaged. Disinfect the surface where you will complete the test and wash your hands. Follow the instructions to collect your specimen, perform the test, and wait for the result. Throw away the collection swab once finished. Don't reuse test devices or other components. Disinfect the surfaces where you completed the test and wash your hands. Remember, even if you are fully vaccinated, CDC recommends that you get a COVID-19 test if you have COVID-19 symptoms or think you've been exposed to someone with COVID-19. Thanks for doing your part to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. For more information, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Yeah, they want us to show that. So there's that. And I see some of you saying that you are still wearing your mask. I am as well. Y'all, in the United States tonight, President Biden will deliver his State of the Union speech. The speech is set for 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it will broadcast by all major networks and cable news TV channels. We will give a recap tomorrow on News in Motion. The White House plans to stream also on White House, which is wh.gov/live. You can also watch it on YouTube, Facebook, and their Twitter pages. Go ahead, Joe. Live coverage will also be provided by C-SPAN, C-SPAN Radio, cspan.org, and NPR is also streaming. I was so excited early this morning when I went to my email and I actually have this speech already. So it will be great to listen and go through and highlight the things I want to present to all of you in the morning. If there's anything to present in the morning, everything may be well and explained throughout the evening. Y'all, Estee Lauder fired their executive John Dempsey over an Instagram post that contained a racial slur and a COVID-19 joke. So, yeah, watch what you're doing. Watch what you're doing. Ron Robinson said, well, as of March 7th, Columbus is removing the mask mandate. They can do whatever they want to, but I'm going to keep my mask on. I am. Lori says she has to test once a week for Catco musical. Y'all remember she's choreographing that, and they're still wearing their masks. Cherie said, "I'm not gonna stop. I'm not either." All right, y'all. TikTok. Let's talk about TikTok for a moment. TikTok done gone rogue. Y'all, TechCrunch is reporting the social media company is bumping max video lengths up to 10 minutes to expand beyond short form content and potentially take on the other capitalize whatever letter you want video platforms such as YouTube. Thank you, Isaiah. TikTok already has nearly 1 billion with a B users around the world. But by adding longer videos, TikTok wants a piece of the world's second largest search engine and hopefully get some of that $28.8 billion away from YouTube, which they earned last year. Now, yeah, this is all a gamble, let me tell you, because people are already pushing back on TikTok. Now, I know I'm not on there. I have an account, but I just want to see the short videos. Even when I'm going through reels on Instagram, you got 60 seconds. You got 60 seconds to show me what you're going to show me. I'm not going to stay on there real long. So people are saying TikTok 10 minutes. They thought maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes, but they're thinking 10 minutes is too long. So now Verge is warning, though, a switch to a longer content may hurt the firm by limiting the amount of data that can be collected on users' watching habits. Because if people just keep scrolling, that's gonna change their algorithm. So there's some pushback on that. Now, y'all, that's the main news we wanted to share today. And again, with the kickoff of Women's History Month, we decided to do something different. So now here's just a little something to kick off Women's History Month.
Good morning, News in Motion family. Yes, it's me, DJ, the Dream Coach, and the team decided we were going to kick off Women's History Month a lot different this year. We always hear the other side of our dear friend and sister, Gail, and today we are going to hear from our sister, and I get the honor and the privilege of interviewing her today. Before we get started, though, I just want to introduce Gail for anyone who's listening. And I can tell you, some of us may not know all of this stuff about her, but I want to be able to introduce her and then interview her a little bit this morning. So Gail is transparent, authentic, vivacious, fearless, focused, and faithful. These are a few words to describe her. You can just call her the audacious advocate. Gail makes bold moves by highlighting entrepreneurs, nonprofits, causes, and political platforms through her media outlet. She is the influential host of News in Motion, weekday news with relevant commentary and a call to action mixed with an inspirational message, advocating and shaking up the status quo. She has a loyal and engaged audience across multiple platforms. Her purpose is to uplift people and unlock their potential by inspiring people with a call to action. Gail's intersection moves her to provoke and to tackle controversial topics while peeling away layers of complacency and encouraging international conversations, all while positively impacting individuals, families, communities, and the world. Although we only see her face through a computer screen, Gail is incredibly personable and has an unwavering need to support, motivate, and educate her audience. You know what they say, educate to cultivate. Gail covers local and national current events, shares actionable strategies, and interviews newsmakers in a live early morning broadcast that sets her audience up to win the day ahead. Gail has spearheaded GOTV drives, vaccination events, spotlight newsmakers, interviews artists, entertainers, entrepreneurs. She is a community role model, using her platform to amplify innovators, businesses, and thought leaders. Gail's mission is to uplift, shining her bright light on causes and strategies focused upon building the beloved community. Not only is Gail unique and an incredible host on News in Motion, but she also has a burning passion for motivating and educating others. Gail encourages people to unlock their potential. She is available to book for speaking engagements along with her other services. No matter what event, Gail is sure to engage in it and embolden the listeners, and we all know that. Gail gives the viewers a 360-degree look at the world events, political and current affairs, the power of a positive attitude, prayer and religion, diversity and inclusion, reinvention for the post-pandemic future. But for her listening audience, we call her friend and we call her family. And so I give you Gail Dudley, and I'm just looking forward to the opportunity for us learning a little bit more about her and what her journey has been like during this year.
Well, thank you.
Good morning. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Finally, I can't believe this. I get to interview you. Every morning I wake up like this, and now look.
I know, it's funny because I'm trying to remember that I'm on the other side today. And I was like, okay, y'all, because, I will fight people. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And they were like, you're going to do that. You're going to do that. I was like, all right, I get it.
There you go. I'm so glad they did. I'm so glad they made this decision. This was wonderful. Gail, there's so much about this journey that we're all curious about. Like, just share with us a little bit about how you got on this journey with News in Motion.
Wow. Okay. Well, because you were one of the writers for Ready Publication.
Yeah.
I really went from a ministry life, being a pastor and married to a pastor, and just really focused on ministry. But I knew within me I had that writing gift. As you know, I have all those books. I had that writing gift. But I have this passion for social justice and encouraging people and talking about philanthropy and building women leaders and giving girls a platform to have their voices. And then I had so many men say to me, and I think Kenny Stanley's on here, that I should stop saying my books are just for women, because men are reading them also, and they're having the opportunity to change and to transform as well. So we started off with my daughter doing the magazine, Ready Publication. And then after I gave that portion up, I was like, what's next for me? I mean, I'm still a co-owner for it, but I'm in the background now. My daughter takes it and runs with it, and she's moving forward with it. Yeah. But for me, it was like, I love politics. I love advocacy. I love social justice. I love giving people that voice. I love voter education. And so, as you know, our dear friend, Dr. Kim Carter, and Cheryl Cosby were like, you talk about this. And we've been together as women at luncheons that you say something about politics. I can just totally change. I'm all the way in. I could be sleepy and just, there's like a power that comes forth that I'm giving that whatever's happening on the political landscape. Yeah. And so they were like, just do a live. You already do lives, just do one. And I literally was playing around the day I launched it on June 22nd. But all these people were viewing it. I was like, what's happening here? And then people started saying, we want more. So I just kept it going. So now I'm just massaging it, but we found our groove and what it is we want to do. So that's just a little bit of the journey of how Youth in Motion began. And we're almost getting ready. We're entering into our second anniversary. So
Absolutely. And in fact, as you're saying that, for those of us who've been on this journey with you for a long time, there's been a lot of moves and transitions. What's working well for News in Motion?
What's working well, and it's so interesting because I say that our regular viewers are spoiled. So
Yes, we are.
what's working well, people, because we saw a decrease when we were putting in a lot of interviews every week. If we had 3 interviews, people were emailing us saying, no, I come on here to hear what you have to say and to give us the facts. So there's something about however God has gifted me that is what's working well. What's working well is that piece where I do that's happening. The other thing that's working well is the inspirational message. People want the quick highlights. We get a lot of viewers that say, I come on because I know I'm going to get 1 through 10, what's happening. I can go on about my day. So that's really interesting to us. So those are the 2 things that I would say that are working well.
Well, it's interesting. We tease about this, but you have so much passion for politics, passion for what's going on, passion for pushing us to that uncomfortable place of making changes. Come on, tell us. Are you thinking about running for office? I mean, like, seriously.
Well, I feel like I'm in the hot seat.
I'm signing up for the campaign. I'm just wondering. I just want to know how to situate my year.
Okay, now I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
There have been many times that I've thought about it, but I keep thinking I do better on this end by motivating and influencing and encouraging others. But then there's days it's like, let me go ahead and throw my hat in the ring. But then I remember the training I went through, the 9 months training of Center for Progressive Leadership, where when I always fall back on the whole vetting process and how you're not the only one being vetted, but everybody in your family who's really attached to you. And not that there's anything that's in anybody's closet, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want anybody to have to go through that because I'm making a decision to do something. So it's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Because that to me is a distraction from the real work that's ahead. So I'm thinking about the people who are around me. But then the other piece of that is, just like, let's take Stacey Abrams, for example. Yeah. Notice she's now coming off the screen. She's coming off of being able to be that outspoken person because she's now running a campaign. Yeah. That changes. So my question is, and her organization is Fair Fight. Will Fair Fight still have the platform that they had because she was the lead? She was the face of Fair Fight. Yeah. Now it's in reverse. And I don't know. There's some people who have that, aggression. I'm not saying in a negative term, that can go out there and go for it. It's interesting because last night, I never sleep. Lately, it's just like God is speaking to me continuously. So I picked up an old journal of mine from when I was in Germany and in Israel. And there was something in there that someone had given me a word, and they said something about, it's funny you asked this question. They said something about that God is positioning me to be able to speak to different government officials to bring about unity, and that because I really don't care, nor do I apologize for what people think or say about me, which is a really true statement. So I just think this side is better, but I was taught very early, never say never.
That's for sure. But it sounds like you've got a plan and you're already doing things. We've seen you on the front lines. We've seen you out with voters, getting them to get in line, to pass out water, to do whatever needs to be done to get people to exercise their right. What are some of the things you're thinking about in terms of getting active in the community? Like what do you have on tap outside of being on the camera in the morning? And we do not want you to not do that. We miss you. We miss you.
Well, I can give my experience of yesterday.
Okay.
There's something just really crazy when it comes to insurance. With my own experience of insurance, although we pay into it every
Yeah.
month,
Yeah.
and or the elderly. So in the case of my mom, and many of you all know, she's currently in a rehab center. She's been there for I think almost a couple of months now. She's been in the hospital before that. She just has some challenging issues.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden Medicare is like, well, we're not paying for this anymore. We're putting her out tomorrow. And I said, oh, no, you're not. So I went into advocacy role and I went to the place where she's currently, and I got all the her notes, what was sent to the Medicare officials. I had an attorney write up a consent form for me, got it notarized. I mean, I just took all the steps and started advocating. When I came up there, and this is the funny part about it, when I walked in the door and gave them my name, this one lady said, "Oh, we've been expecting you." I said,
I
"What?"
bet
She
they
goes, "Well,
were.
we heard, you were very professional, but everybody in here wants to know, who is this person?" She said, "We started Googling you." And I was like, "What?" And even with that, we got everything done. She's still there. We had to do an appeal and all of that. So she's still there. I did work. But even with that, talking with the business people and the administrator said to me, he said, there's a lot of patients in here
Yeah.
that could use what you just did.
Mhm.
And it made me think, wow, how can we educate family members, educate our seniors, our
Yeah.
elderly? So I've added that to my list. And so
Nice.
they started sending me information, the guidelines and everything. And I don't think we know, as constituents and as the community, what's all involved in that. What's
Right.
all involved? For example, one thing that I learned is that they look for your assets. And my
Mhm.
parents, they own their home, they have an asset. So that
Yes.
changes things. It's like, it's not about the person's health, it's about, what do you have? And
Yep.
I'm like, that's something's crazy about that.
Yeah.
You do all this work to build. And I was sitting down with my father yesterday, and we were just going through how much he's paid into all of these things. No one should be asking one question or telling her she has to get out because of all the money they paid into it. So now that has started that advocacy wheel
Yeah.
moving. Along with that, I'm putting together a plan
Mhm.
for voting coming into these midterm elections. And it's interesting with everything that's going on. People aren't talking about it, and to some degree, there's different. Both the Democrats and the Republicans. But Republicans want us to remain quiet. They don't want us to know so that we can get
Right.
up to elections and slip in. Well, no, we need to talk about it because that's important. We need to know who's on the platform and who is running for office. So I'm working on a plan for that. And then the last thing I'm working on, believe it or not, I'm working on a book for younger people when it
Okay.
comes to voting.
You've got a lot going on and you're making a difference everywhere you go. I know people see you coming, they know that something's going to happen, something's good's going to happen, but they're going to be called to task. I want to ask you, as we're sitting here and we're hearing about what you're doing, how can we help? What can we do to make a difference where we are, and what can we do to help you do what you're doing?
That's a great question. A couple of things come to mind. One would be to identify and have begin to have conversations in your community. Go to the town hall meetings, see what's really happening. Identify now what are some of the issues that are going to come up within your precinct, your community, your township, whatever that may be. We have to be two steps ahead of everything that's taking place.
Okay.
The other thing, Latrice said, become a patron.
That's exactly right. Thank you.
That's one thing. The other thing is, yes, become a Patreon member. We
Right.
are really a grassroots journalistic organization. That's who we are. That's what we do. And with that, the time that we spend, if we're traveling somewhere, we have an opportunity. I received a invite yesterday. I shared with all of you all last week about now I'm a part of the press pool for the Academy Awards. I received an email yesterday saying, "We love what you're doing. We want to offer you this invitation to come and be a part of the luncheon with the stars in Los Angeles." Well, that ain't gonna happen. But there's things like this. There's news. to even, now that I have my White House press pool, I could really go to the State of Union today. I could really show up. I won't be in the chambers, but I could be out there to interview people. Just to have that opportunity. I can even get interns to go. But it's like just to strategize, get the word out, because we want to start recruiting more interns. That's another thing. If you have a student, we tried this a couple when we first started out, but we weren't ready. We weren't ready. It was an epic failure on our part, and I can admit that. But we're now ready to do some things. And then to become a News in Motion ambassador. People think that's a lot to do. No, it doesn't. It can take you probably 5 hours a month to do some of that work.
I love that. And we sit here in the mornings and we watch you. I know that there are people out there saying, man, I'd love to be doing that. They don't want to do News in Motion. They don't have the bandwidth for it, but they have something in their heart that they want to do. What would you say to someone sitting here who wants to start a podcast, who wants to start a blog, who wants to write an article, doing some of the things that you're doing? What advice would you give them?
First of all, I would say to them to determine their genre, their topic. If they're writing a blog, even a podcast or a broadcast, what is it that gives you a passion? What is it that strikes the fire under you? I would say start there to identify that, and then I would start writing articles. Start be as a freelancer. Start submitting. You would do what you call a query or a pitch to these different platforms. You can also begin building by starting with your own blog or going to medium.com, becoming that regular voice, that regular face on those platforms. Then also boost up your social media. Whether it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, there's also LinkedIn articles, but you have to determine what it is you want to do and go with that. The other thing is block out all the naysayers, because people are going to come and they're going to say you shouldn't do that, or the platform is already saturated. I say don't listen to them. There are new publishers every day. Every year there are over a million and 1.8 new authors. But still, people are still producing books and they're writing books. Certain books will get picked up. So just go for it. Go with your passion. The other thing, if you want to do a podcast, go ahead and get that microphone. You can find those on Amazon.com. Go ahead and start getting you an account on Libsyn, or StreamYard, or Squadcast, or any of those places. You have to start somewhere. Now the iPhones and Samsung phones, although I'll say iPhone first, the iPhones will do everything you need. Everything you need. Just go on it. Start recording. Put it out there. And the other part of it is, don't be afraid to put it out there. Just do it. Somebody's going to like it. I scroll through the reels on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok just to see what people are doing. And there's phenomenal work out there using a phone in a closet. There's young children underneath their covers saying, "Mom," laughing like, "My mom doesn't know I got my phone back." And it's just funny. It's hilarious. And now some of those young people are now on commercials on national television.
Yeah.
So just do it. Just do it.
I'm hearing you. Just do it and study people who are doing it. Continue to watch News in Motion. Get tips. You give us tips every week on how to be better and do better. I thought I would never get to say this, but we're going to have you back. It has been fantastic being on this side, being able to ask you questions. And you are just a storehouse of knowledge. I just want to say this as we kick off Women's History Month. You really are a jewel. You're a treasure to us. There are people who started watching you and now you truly are family. When people say good morning, family, when people jump on and say News in Motion, they're thinking Gail Dudley has brought us together. During the pandemic, you allowed us to have a connection. We weren't isolated. We weren't lost and didn't know what was going on. You followed what God put in your heart to do. And we got to benefit from it. And you're now springing forth and bringing people along with you. And I just can't thank you enough for what you're doing for each and every one of us who tune in daily, people who tune in periodically, people who are in their car and going to work. You're making a difference And we just can't say thank you enough, Gail. You're just a blessing.
Thank
a
you.
major,
Thank
major
you.
blessing.
And thank you for interviewing me. I'm still like, I am on this side. There's something weird about this.
I'm loving the fact that
my daughter just sent me a text message and said, you scored that. Get ready to be on the other side of national news hosts interviewing you. So maybe this is that door for that.
I see you there. I just can't wait until we're turning on the morning news on CNN on one of the platforms, and there you are. We're saying it now because we know it's going to happen. Wow. It's just a matter of timing, but you have done the work and you haven't settled. You just keep pushing for excellence. You keep doing things in a way that honors God and it blesses us. So we just can't thank you enough. We look forward to it. Absolutely.
And I hear you're taking over the rest of the show. So I'm
oh my gosh. This is now, I can tell you this. This is Gail in motion. FYI, Deborah, you're doing the inspirational message. Okay, I know you're fine with that. Have a great day. But God says, be you always ready. So I appreciate that.
All right.
I really do.
Well, thank you for the interview, and I'm out of here.
Thank you. Good morning. You know what? This is just as we're like starting off Women's History Month, the first thing that came to mind this morning when Gail said, hey, would you do the inspirational message? Of course I do it. But the real thing is I kept hearing in my head, don't settle. Don't settle. The women that we're highlighting all month, the women that you'll hear about, no matter what platform you're on, whether it's News in Motion or whatever magazine you pick up, the women that are being on the front covers, the women who are, you may not even hear about, but there are women making a difference in this world. There are people making a difference in this world because they don't settle. They hear that voice inside and they realize it's me you're calling. This is the moment that I was created for. And even though there are obstacles in the way, you might be sitting there saying, that's all well and good. I wish I had a studio. I wish I could do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't know where I would be able to even begin with that. But in your heart, you know, I was created for something bigger than what I'm doing right now. That's the thing that Gail did. I remember way back when she would meet with us for lunch and just spew all this amazing stuff. It would just pour out of her pores. Everything about politics, everything. She was teaching us right then because she didn't settle. She just kept moving for something better, something more. She didn't settle when people tried to shut her down. She didn't settle when people were coming in and doing things to her broadcast, when the algorithms would change, when Facebook would call her out on something that she had in place, when the music really did belong to her, when she would wake up in the morning and the power was off. She didn't settle when she had to get up in the morning and go all the way to a hotel in order to give her broadcast. She just didn't settle. And because she didn't, she got to where she's getting to where she's going. She's not even halfway there. And I just want to speak that in there. She's not even halfway there, and neither are you. When you get up in the morning, ask God, help me go where I need to go, and believe that you can go there. Write your vision, make it plain, and then don't settle for anything but God's very best for your life. It's really that important because you hold the key to doing the thing that you were created to do, but you got to do it. And the only way to do it is to get started. And once you get started, don't settle until you get your very best. In John 14:12, God says, most assuredly, I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also. And greater works than these will he do, because I go to my Father. You have an advocate out there. You have advocates in holy realms. You have advocate in the physical realm. You have the advocate of friends, of people like Gail Dudley, who are there, putting your name out there, making sure you get the attention that you need. But you've got to do the work. You've got to make the first steps, and you don't want to settle. And so I leave you with that. Don't settle. Go for God's very best for your life. You won't regret it. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.